Good morning. In this presentation, I will talk about how a collection of non-events formed my artistic sensibility. In a village in Punjab, in northern India, this was the house where all my stories lived. But the stories were silent, as they were non-events. This is a haveli. The word is derived from Arabic. It's a mansion with a courtyard. My childhood was spent almost in seclusion in this house. My memories from the time are extremely vivid and detailed. Any excursion outside the house was rare, and nothing ever happened in the house. And because nothing ever happened, every non-event became an object of intense focus. I became a collector of these non-events. The house was a room. If in a dream I'm in a forest or a street in a foreign land, it's only another room across the courtyard. Being so much by myself, I lived with a kind of suspended judgment about things. I was most comfortable in an in-between gray space where I was happy with its uncertainties and surprises. I will now narrate one non-event in the Haveli. At a certain time of the day, at the far end of the floor, I would see a mysterious beam of light rise from the floor. Later, I discovered a small shard of a mirror blasted into the cement floor. Just like the ones on the outside of this building, only mine was not put there by design. It was near the kitchen, and the smoke from it accentuated the beam when the sun was at a certain angle. I put my eye close to the shard and was startled by the eye looking up at me from the floor. The little mirror separated my eye from my body. Early painting, done in my 20s, the act of looking was dominant in my early works. Man looking at one freak print in his shirt, which is different from the rest. Man with torch, searching. Self-absorption of early childhood is the origin of such images. This is a digital collage, all made up. This is a video projection on a painted canvas. Simplest of activities, like threading a needle, made for potential metaphorical readings. At night, my uncle performed shadow plays, stuffing fluffy materials under his shirt, and with a lantern casting a gigantic shadow on a large wall. The act would be as simple as chewing on a twig in the animated shadow. I see this as the origin of the phantasmagorical in my works. So I was very much drawn to events where very little happened. So the combination of painted image and the videoed image created a kind of third thing, where it's not a cinematic image or a video image, and it's not a painting either, but it becomes a third thing, which allows me to explore, enter other areas of experience, which one can't just with a painting, or I couldn't just with painting or video alone. It doesn't make it any better than any of those, but just another medium. Man with cockerel. High noon, siesta time, a sudden fluttering and high-pitched squawking of the cockerel. Thinking it was cat or a dog chasing the cockerel, I went to the parapet to look down in the courtyard. It was one of the farmhands holding a cockerel in his arms. The cockerel freed itself and escaped through the outer door. The farmhand ran after him, and it was all quiet again. This enactment made for a Sisyphean reading when projected in a never-ending loop. So it continues this way. Another projection on a painting. Spilt milk always brought a sense of gloom. Married women were given a blessing. In Hindi, "Dudo naho puto phalo." May you bathe in milk and bring forth a beautiful child. This feeling of loss at spilt milk in the house stayed with me, and I made this video installation where a man sits at a table with an empty jug. A woman comes and fills the jug with milk. The man walks out of his painted self and goes out of the house into a busy street. Night falls and the milk flows back into the house over the threshold, and the man is again left with the empty jug until the woman again fills it up and the cycle continues. Now you see the man there, that's the painted man. There's no video projection on top of that, but below that you see some candle. That's the video. And it makes they do not document very well because I want the physical presence of a painting, its tactileness, its thickness, its weight as it sits by your side, its physicality. So that's counterpointed with the image that's made of light. So I combine two elements, both of time, and time sits differently in a painting, and there is cinematic time. So I can play with both of them using this method. There's the milk flowing back over the threshold into the house. I'll go to the next one. It's called Exit and Tekzilla. It's another projection on a painting. Time moved slowly in the Haveli, and this slow time was a time of imagination freed, of mental games, of conjuring events in the imagination. Here is a work called No Exit and Tekzilla. It consists of a painting of a man staring into nothingness and conjuring a horse when he strikes the empty air in front of him. And the time is beaten by drops of water in a pan behind him. This is just a painting. There's no video projection on this. It comes and goes, the video projection. And there are times when he moves out of his painted self and moves in back to give it breath. Things happen very slowly in my work, but I will finish within 15 minutes. So in works like this, horse is not a horse. The hammer is not a hammer. It could be just a mental effort. So the horse just fades out. I'll go to the next one. The wall. There was usually silence around the Haveli. Occasionally, apart from the ravaging dog packs, we sometimes heard sounds of people fighting, but didn't see anything. From the veranda, we would get a glimpse of a man running across, sometimes followed by 2 or 3 others running off in the same direction. This was the source for the wall, where from a single child sitting on a wall, looking in one direction, many more collect. This is a reference to riots that India is afflicted with, where rumors and fake news plays a big part. This is an image of the actual installation. This is a projection on a block of burnt wood, and it's about 8-9 feet long. This is the video, because I couldn't document it on the block itself. So this is projected on the burnt wood. Farmers are emotionally tied to their land. From time to time, they suffer crop failures, droughts, etc. They have problems with venal officials. A piece of official paper seems to hold both dread and promise. There's a phone, mobile in his pocket that rings, but he can't reach it. It's almost in a catatonic position. These images are blurred, out of focus. House of opaque water. This is a large projection, about 30 feet wide, on a shiny floor. The middle projection is on a back wall. And here too, I cannot show the documentation, but I have just put 3 of those screens together on a single film. At the family brick hill, donkeys' hooves left fascinating maps in the wet clay. Shoveling of the coal in the kale fire was timed with the mesmerizing slow descent of a metal vessel in a trough of water. In the video, the villager who lost his house on an island in Bengal to the rising sea level reimagines and maps his village in clay on the edge of the sea. The sea tide swallows up the sculpted village, and the man goes into a reverie and visits his village under the sea. Oh, sorry about that. These islands are literally disappearing because of global warming. And this was the actual man whose village was lost, and I went and worked with him on an island. So these are just short clips I've been able to show you. This is the last one. This is a video sculpture, a work in progress. Although the family was small, they would all be in different parts of the Haveli. I wondered where the rest of the family members were and what was happening in the other rooms. About 8 feet high, this sculpture, video sculpture, consists of 4 abstracted rooms where enactments between friends and family happen. the walk in and out of rooms. When we watch in one room, we miss the continuity of the story in the next room. As in life, we will never know the entirety of the story, and we'll have to make up the missing links. That's it. Thank you.